Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing the new Buick Envista. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the National GMC here in American Fork, Utah for giving me some time with this Buick. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions, just ask for David. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Powering this is a turbocharged 1.2 liter 3-cylinder that goes through a 6-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 28 around town and then 32 on the highway, with power outputs being 137 horsepower and then 162 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see we've got some subtle lines there on either side, but overall simplistic design. And also you probably noticed the new Buick logo, and then look at the split light design. So you guys can see here with the daytime running lights at the top and then with the headlights down below. And then I actually like that chrome trim. ST logo there on the grille. You guys can see the lighter colored trim at the bottom. And putting it all together, I really like the design of this Envista. It's very sharp looking. Coming around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 245, 45, 19 in the front and over in the rear. And then you guys can see here with the wheels completely blacked out. And that theme continues onto the fender flares and then the bodywork at the bottom and the mirror caps and the window trim. And well, when you put it all together, the contrast between the red and the blacked out elements looks really good. So here's a quick look at the key fob. We have our unlock and our lock function, the opening here for the hatch, and then remote starts, and yeah, pretty normal. And speaking of the hatch, you guys can see that the space back here is pretty solid. Again, this is a small vehicle, but it's still really practical. You also have a cargo cover built in from the factory, and well, when you're all done, just press that. Really sharp taillight design. Then you guys can see all the rest of the badges here on the back end, including the new Buick logo. And wrapping it up, it has this cool like coupe SUV design. It's like a mini BMW X4, X6. It's kind of interesting. Popping inside, you guys can see soft touch down below, and then look at the blue stitching here. And that theme of blue continues onto the seats. I mean, look at all the rest of the stitching. And room back here is fantastic. It's very spacious, actually. And then you guys can see you got some USB action, got a little bit of storage space there, and then headroom, surprisingly good. Taking a look at the front door panel, you guys can see again with all of the stitching there, and then I like this trim that goes up. And we got all of our window controls here, our mirror adjustments, and then you guys can see you do have blind spot monitoring with those mirrors as well. And then look at the front seat, ST there, and then again, really cool stitching design. And then we got our power adjustments here on the side, and then light control right here, and then more blue stitching on the dash. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, soft touch all around, darker stitching. We do have radio controls on the back of the steering wheel, and we got some controls for the center stack, cruise control, heated steering wheel button on the steering wheel, and then regular stocks there as well. Now I've got this full digital gauge cluster here in the center, and by the way, there's lights illuminated because this hasn't gone through the full PDI inspection for those of you that are wondering, but I like the overall design there of that gauge cluster. Now in reverse, we do have a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. Resolution on it is pretty solid. And then as for the infotainment system, response time with the screen, as you can see, also pretty dang solid as well. Easy to use, has Apple CarPlay, has Android Auto, and it's all connected, right, with the gauge and everything. Kind of interesting. I do like the trim there on the dash, again, with the blue stitching. And then look at this down below, also really cool. Some more vents here in the center. We got our climate controls, heated seats on top of that, and then you guys can see here USB action, got wireless phone charging pad too. And then we got our auto stop start here, lane departure, and then we have our shifter there for the 6-speed automatic. Kind of looks fancy. Got the manual shift function there on the side, and yeah, just like a nice appearance to the trim. Parking brake, and then I like this trim too, looks pretty cool. Cup holder action, some storage here. There's the center console, and then you guys can see with the glove box. And then up top, we got our controls here for the sunroof because we do have a sunroof. So quite a bit of glare, but anyways, 2024 Envista Sport Touring, base MSRP $24,100. Quite a few options added to this one. After all options, $29,460 is the MSRP. Let's see how it drives. So let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility of the hood, both the mirrors. Got the rest of the rear, and Envista away. Guess we'll turn around this way. So for those of you that like to study cars like me, you'll know that this is shared with a certain little Chevy Trax, which I don't think is a bad thing at all. But you know, I guess the question that we'll try to answer is, you know, should you get this or should you get the Chevy? Now, first off, ooh, the torque's pretty good. I mean, the engine and everything's shared with the Chevy, and it feels pretty much the same, like from that perspective. So that's good. Yeah, it's got so much low-end grunt. I actually really like this powertrain, honestly. I know a lot of people are gonna be like, Ben, 1.2 liter, three cylinder. They're just gonna keep repeating 3-cylinder. I understand, folks, but it drives well. It's got good torque. Like, it feels really good for like this vehicle. Like, most vehicles at this price point just, they suck at driving, and this drives really well. It's comfortable. Yeah, it does a really good job. I love it. So, you know, just like what you see with most, you know, stuff with GM's product, the biggest benefit of this over, you know, something like the Chevy counterpart is going to be the looks on the outside, and then, you know, the interior as well. This does feel a little bit more upscale compared to the Chevy, right? So that's kind of the big benefit, is you feel like you're in a nicer place, and you are paying more money for that, right? But it's not like an insane amount. It's like the loaded up Trax that I reviewed, how much was that? I think it was like 26. I can't remember. I reviewed too many cars. It's like $3,000 more for a much, you know, kind of like more upscale feeling vehicle. So I guess for those of you that are just feature buyers, not gonna make sense. But the pizzazz that this provides, it's really nice. And just, you know, for cars under $30,000, is a really nice package. You know, having the extra kind of like SUV like ground clearance and the space that this has inside, like, I think this is gonna send some other automakers back to the drawing board, because it provides a lot of value at a really good price. And the biggest thing is the space. I think this is gonna be the future of affordable cars, because people are kind of realizing that, like, yeah, stuff like fuel economy and all that's important. But I think what a lot of people are realizing is they just want space, but they want affordable space. And that's what this provides, is it provides a very spacious cabin and cargo area, and, well, it won't break the bank. Let me know your thoughts. Little whirring sound it makes. It's like, woo, kind of feels like you're in a spaceship in a sense. It's pretty cool. It's comfortable though. It's really comfortable. Like, great daily driver, I would say. And it's quiet too, other than the little whirring you get. Like, it's one of those cars where most of the sound you hear is from the interior, not the exterior, so I think they did a good job with that. It's always a big plus. It's just so comfortable.